डॉक्टर श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ वाटर एंड सैनिटेशन द्वारा अंडमान लोक निर्माण विभाग के सहयोग से अंडमान निकोबार द्वीप समूह में ग्रामीण जलापूर्ति योजना का संचालन और प्रबंधन विषय पर आवासीय प्रशिक्षण शिविर का आयोजन किया जा रहा है। अंडमान लोक निर्माण विभाग के फील्ड इंजीनियर्स के लिए 28 फरवरी तक चलने वाले इस प्रशिक्षण का आज उद्घाटन हुआ। इस कार्यक्रम के उद्घाटन अवसर पर द्वीप प्रशासन के मुख्य सचिव डॉक्टर चंद्रभूषण कुमार मुख्य अतिथि थे। इस मौके पर उपायुक्त एवं ग्रामीण विकास सचिव अर्जुन शर्मा, अंडमान लोक निर्माण विभाग के नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ वाटर एंड सैनिटेशन के अधिकारी और प्रतिभागी अभियंता उपस्थित रहे। सबसे पहले एपीडब्ल्यूडी के चीफ इंजीनियर टी.के. प्रजीत रेक ने मुख्य सचिव, अन्य गणमान्य व्यक्तियों और प्रतिभागी इंजीनियर्स का स्वागत किया।
Affecting water distribution, operational cost and overall water loss. In response, this comprehensive training program, developed in consultation with field experts, covers a broad spectrum of topics. Participants will learn about routine and preventive maintenance, water audits to reduce non-revenue water, energy optimization measures and advanced systems. The curriculum is designed to enhance technical expertise, strengthen managerial capacities, promote community engagement, provide practical experience. Using a practical approach that emphasizes self-direct learning and experience sharing.
समारोह में पूर्व प्रशासनिक अधिकारी मोहम्मद इशफाक ने प्रशासनिक कार्यक्रम के बारे में विस्तार से जानकारी दी।
Always indebted to your contribution towards the SPM Niwas while you are working as additional secretary and mission director National Jal Jeevan Mission. So I happen to seek your guidance, and you have visited SPM Niwas also. So sir, I will not take much time. I will just say whatever guidance you have given us as a MD JGM, and now you are giving us as a chief secretary. So we will follow that, and we are also extend the support of the SPM Niwas for your future training initiatives also, sir. Thank you, sir.
अपने सारगर्भित संबोधन में मुख्य सचिव डॉक्टर चंद्रभूषण कुमार ने कहा कि विभाग हमेशा भारत सरकार के नियमों के तहत पेयजल की आपूर्ति प्रबंधन का प्रयास कर रहा है।
Andaman Nicobar Islands are unique locations. We have close to 200 rainy days actually, and rainfall last year was more than 3,400 millimeter. Still, we face the issues of water, particularly during our summer season. And it has been a lot of problem times earlier also. Jal Jeevan Mission, 5-year plus old scheme, and it came with a very new design in terms of how to reach out to every household with a tap connection. In Andaman Nicobar Island, we don't have that kind of issues which we generally face in the villages in so-called mainland, in other states, where access to water has been a concern since centuries. Jal Jeevan Mission has broken that particular barrier, social barrier in the villages. Every house is supposed to have a tap connection with 55 liter per capita daily availability of this particular quality water. This is the design of Jal Jeevan Mission. Some of the states have done exceedingly well. 11 states and UTs have achieved 100% target. Andaman Nicobar claimed to be one of those locations where we have achieved 100%. But we know water is very dynamic element. Once you have achieved the target does not mean that that situation is going to be the static. It changes, and water is very, very flexible element. All of us know that how difficult it can be if you don't have good amount of rainfall, if your spring sources are dried up, if groundwater extraction is a problematic area. So it's always an effort to ensure that the water availability happens on regular basis without any disruption. It is essential for life. You can't survive without water. Water is one of the primordial elements which we call Chitijal Pavak Gagan Samira. So Jal is there, which is our primal element, we say so. So without water you cannot survive. Now what has happened in modern times that we have looked at water very differently. We think that we have mastered over water, and the problem starts there. You can't master nature. You have to live with nature harmoniously. And that is possible to do so. We need to learn from our tribal world here, which exists in these islands, how they harness water resources in their own territory and how they protect it. How we can also learn some of those lessons, some of those values attached to water. How do we connect the community that water is important and you are the guardian of this particular important resource? It's not something which PWD's responsibility only. In fact, when you supply water 55 liter per capita daily in rural areas, 135 liter per capita daily in urban areas, almost 70 to 80% water comes out in whatever form. It's a grey water, then you have black water. What do you do with that water? Grey water, we don't capture it properly. Some in village area, what we do that we create soak pits and that water flows down. Somewhere it is used for kitchen garden. But we are yet to capture that particular release fully. See, water is a finite element. You can't create water. Everybody knows that. Water is limited. So whatever you are extracting, at least 70 to 80%, it must be put to reuse. Because we have to reuse for different purposes. In urban areas, for park, you require that kind of thing. Your toilet area, how do we now go for the dual pipe system? Because a lot of locations you have dual pipe system where the water is getting circulated within the system. In fact, most of the Western world, you have 100 liter per capita daily availability of water. We still have more than that because of intense rainfall, because of our own structures, whatever we have designed. But this situation cannot be for very long. So we require to work on this particular important element very, very carefully. The problem with all our provisioning of water supply in most of the states has been that it is considered that it is the state responsibility. And the state department, whether PWD here or PHED somewhere, most of the locations, their job is only limited to extracting the water and supplying the water. See, in most of the location, you have huge transmission and distribution losses in water sector. Almost 30 to 40% water is getting lost in transmission. We don't know how much water we are providing to Sri Vijayapuram municipality and how much water from that location goes to the homes. So water auditing is very neglected area. In a city like Delhi, which is the capital city of our country, your non-revenue water, which includes our water losses, is 56%. Now this kind of situation is unacceptable for our future generation. What we are going to leave for our children, their children, if we don't use it very carefully. Remember this electricity. Only a decade ago kind of thing, we had losses in more than 30% or something like that. We have been able to reduce it below 15% in most of the occasions. And that has improved the availability of electricity. Similar thing you require to do in water sector, and for that purpose, operation and maintenance becomes extremely important area. It's not something which is only the technical part of water management. It's also the social part of water management. How do you ensure that when you are using your tap, then you are using it judiciously? ये नहीं कि आपने खोल दिया, ब्रश लिए हुए हैं और वो पानी बह रहा है और जा रहा है और आप ये जो सिचुएशन है ना, दिस सिचुएशन नीड टू बी अरेस्टेड. You can't allow, you teach your children, you teach in the school, in the classes, that this is not done. You can't waste your water. We need to conserve water. We need to use it judiciously. See, in one of the cities in Odisha, now they have 24/7 water supply. And this has happened because the community, the local population, they have come together and worked on it. Whatever water we are supplying in a day, at least that much of water is available in the tanks also in every home. Because they don't believe in us or they don't trust in us that whether water is going to come tomorrow or day after tomorrow or not. So when you have the mistrust, people will hoard it. People will store it because that is essential for life. How do we break this particular chain? That is the challenge we are having. And for that particular reason, this kind of workshop becomes very, very important. We have organized, we thank SPM Nivas for designing this kind of very exclusive course for Andaman Nicobar Islands. And I know this is not the last course of this nature you are going to have. We are going to have series of these kind of workshop and seminar or courses. We are going to learn from you also, because you are working in the field, so you will be able to tell us that, okay, how to move, how to work on that. So our challenge is to minimize the losses with better operation and maintenance. Our challenge is how do we handle the demand side management. So demand side management is very important. Supply side management we have done. We know that, oh, we require more water, we will get it from Rutland. Okay, we will have more dams or more Amrit Sarovar and all these things are fine. Supply side management is very important. But demand side management is equally important because it is not a one-way traffic. The user is also active partner in this whole water management design. And for that purpose, we require to focus on our IEC activities in a school, at the school level water audit system. And for that I will request Arjun ji here, Secretary RD and Secretary our municipality also, that they should work on this particular concept of designing a small capsule for our school children. Because if they know the value of this particular element and they understand it, then the future is always very, very bright. So we need to be very, very careful when we handle this particular very, very flexible element. We have 70 panchayats. We have one municipality here. It is important that they become active partner in our effort. In fact, the scheme of Jal Jeevan Mission invested that this has to be handed over to panchayats for operation and maintenance. How it can be done, it's again the task we need to work upon, because at the end of the day, it's a community's responsibility to run this particular kind of facilities at the ground level. And that is happening everywhere in the world. It's not something which is a very unique. We need to trust our community. We need to trust our constitutional institutions. We need to build their capacity. And we must focus, we must work out that how we can work it out. It cannot happen immediately at one go or something like that, but we must design a system to allow it to happen. We should not have our barriers. No, only department will manage it. No, department need to become a regulator. Department need to become a facilitator. And this kind of workshop allows you to think, allows you to discuss this kind of approach and attitude. It is important that we break our prejudices. We should not carry those prejudices that no, it is only the state which is capable enough to handle this particular source. No. My firm belief is, there is a proverb in Hindi about water. See, it says, कोस कोस पे बदले पानी, चार कोस पर वानी. It means every 2 miles water changes and every 8 miles dialect changes. This is something which is there. People have learned it traditionally. We need to respect that. We need to harness our water locally, and that's why I congratulate our RD department to work tirelessly in the field of creating Amrit Sarovars. And we have now more than 235 Amrit Sarovars, and there is a need for more, and there is a scope for more also. Rainwater harvesting, we have plenty. Now, how do we ensure that these structures become part of our water management design? It is important to bring it in our design, in our system. Then only we will value these things. So, again, I thank SPM Niwas for picking up Andaman Nicobar Islands as one of the first locations for this kind of intensive 5 days workshop. I am very, very sure that all of you who are present here, going to be present throughout these 5 days course, you will engage in discussion, you will raise your questions. Don't bother about within the classroom confinement. You can raise your questions on the issues and try to find it out. Try to find the answers to that. If answers are not available, pose it to us. We'll work on that. We'll work collectively to find answers for the water system, what we should have, and how we can improve upon, how we can sustain it, for not for today only, for our future generation only. Thank you very much.
Engineer Planning, Shri Biju Varghese sir, to please give the vote of thanks.
It is both an honor and privilege for me to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of Andaman Public Works Department. To begin with, let me quote from the scripture. The Lord has opened to you his good treasure. The Lord has opened to you his good treasure, the heavens, to give rain to your land in due season. Therefore, what we have just heard from our Chief Secretary is the good treasure that needs to be handled with utmost care and concern. First and foremost, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed Chief Guest, Dr. Chandrabhushan Kumar, Chief Secretary, Andaman and Nicobar Administration, whose inspiring words have set a positive tone for this training program. So your concern for our islands, your concern for the sustainability of this important treasure, we value a lot your precious time that you have come for us today and be among us. I'm also grateful to our Secretary RD, Sri Arjun Sarma, Secretary PBMC, Mr. Azuruddin Kouasi, who has spared their valuable time to be present here. My sincere gratitude to Mr. Priyatu Mandal, JS cum Director, SPM Niwas, Ms. Swati Meena Naik, JS, JJM Government of India, who took time and came online to address the participants, and also Umesh Bharadwaj sir also has joined online. We thank you, Lord. We thank you that you have arranged this program first time outside the mainland for our Andaman and Nicobar Islands. We are immensely grateful to our expert trainer, Mohammad Iswaq sir, SPM Nivas, who have generously shared their invaluable knowledge and experience with us. Your expertise will undoubtedly empower us with the skills and insights necessary for the effective operation management of water supply schemes. And other faculties, we thank you, sir, for coming. Mr. Vinay Harshal, Senior Consultant, Dr. Abhirami Devdas, Principal Scientist. I would also thank especially our Chief Engineer, who is so interested to ensure that our engineers get the regular training that we need for managing the losses, and his youthful exposure to all such trainings. I would also like to extend my sincere thanks to all the organizers led by Mr. Josby John and his dedicated team who worked diligently behind the scenes to make this training possible. From logistics to coordination, your hard work has ensured a seamless experience for everyone involved. To our participants, thank you for your enthusiasm and commitment. Your presence here signifies a strong desire to learn and contribute to the sustainable management of water resources in our rural communities. We encourage you to engage fully over the next 5 days, exchange ideas and foster collaborations. Together, we can make a significant contribution. Let us also remember the stakeholders who are not present here, especially as our Secretary Ma'am was not today here, and also all those stakeholders whose works impacts our rural water supply management daily. Their efforts are vital for improving the life of countless individuals in our communities. Finally, I would like to conclude by reminding everyone that this training is just the beginning of a journey towards better water management and sustainability and judicial use of water. Let us carry forward the lessons learned here and work diligently to implement them in our respective areas. Once again, thank you all for your participation, support and commitment. Let us make the most of these in the next few days. Thank you.